Hello, Sarah here from Frameweld. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use an HTML page in Encourse to create a learning module. An HTML page incorporates text, images, embedded materials, audio, and downloadable files into a learning module. Don't let the name fool you. You don't need to know anything about HTML code to create an HTML page in Encourse. HTML pages are a great way to organize and deliver self-guided learning materials. We can create an HTML page template from our dashboard that can be pulled into any course by clicking the quick link. Quick links allow us to quickly add modules to our course content library that will be saved as a template and shared across the organization. I prefer to create an HTML page specifically for my course. That means it can only be used within this course unless we save it as a template at a later time. First, we must navigate to the build page of our course. To do that, select Courses from the Admin drop-down menu. Then, open the course that we want to add the HTML page to, and navigate to the build page for that course. Here, we have the HTML page button on our toolbar. Just give the HTML page a title and click Create New. Our module will be added to the course build page. To access an HTML page template that was previously created using quick links, check the box next to the HTML pages that we want to add to the course, and then click the Add Checked button below. The modules will be added to our course build page where we can manage the module settings. From the drop-down menus, select if the module is required or not required. If the module is required, students must complete the module to move on to the next module. Dependency limits access to a module based on completed previous modules. Access delay will force a time delay before the module can be accessed. You can set an interval or a hard date and time for access delay. Now that we've managed our module settings, we can go ahead and start to edit the module. So let's save our settings and then click Edit to the right of the module. On the settings page, we can give our HTML page a description and upload an image. The description and image will be visible on the course build page and to students on the course content listing page. Make sure to save the settings at the top of the page before navigating away. Click the Build tab to start building the content of the HTML page. Just like the course build page, we have a toolbar that lets us add content. Here we can add headers, text, quotes, images, downloadable files, audio, and embed content. There's no limit to the amount of content that we can add to any single HTML page. When adding a heading, choose the text size from the drop-down menu, then click Save. When adding text content, you have some style options available to you. Make whatever stylistic edits you wish to make to your text in the text editor window, then click Save. The HTML page text tool has lots of additional features. The toolbar within the text editor offers shortcuts for text color, background color, toggle bold and italics, text justification left, center, right, or justified, bullet or list text, and manage indentation. Hovering your cursor over each item momentarily will reveal its function. The Edit drop-down menu has shortcuts to copy, paste, do, and undo. The Insert menu allows you to add a hyperlink. The Table menu allows you to build a table in your HTML page. Once you have added all of the text in the block, click Save to return to the HTML build page. Quotes work well to break up large blocks of text, as well as highlight an important chunk of text for your readers. Just add the quote and click Save to return to the build page. They're stylized to include quotations. When adding images, use the uploader to browse your local disk to find the image that you want to use. We can add alt text for screen readers and add an image caption that will show on your HTML page. If we justify the image to the left or to the right, the text element below it will wrap around the image. We can provide files available for students to download. Using the uploader, browse the local disk to find the files we want to use, name the file, and click Save. We can embed anything with an embed code in our HTML page. Some of the more common examples are Google Maps and YouTube video. For this demonstration, we will use a YouTube video. Give the embedded content a title and paste the embed code in the area provided. Let me just point out that the frame title is not actually displayed on your HTML page, but rather is used by screen readers to identify the title of the embedded content. We can post an audio podcast or lecture file in the HTML learning module. Just navigate and upload it from the local disk. As we add elements to our HTML page, we want to make sure to click the Save button at the top of the page before navigating away, so that we don't lose any of our content. You'll see a confirmation bar at the top of the screen that lets us know that all of our changes have been saved. If at any point we want to move, edit, or delete an element from our learning module, just use the panel to the right of the element. To preview the HTML page, click the Preview button at the top of the page. The preview will open in a new tab of your browser and will allow us to view and interact with the HTML page from the student view. Once we've completed adding content to the HTML page, we can return to the course build page by clicking the Back to Course button at the top of the page, making sure to save any new changes before navigating away. Thank you for joining me in this tutorial video on how to create an HTML page in Encourse. For additional information and step-by-step written directions on how to create an HTML page or anything else in Encourse, visit our knowledge base.